happy full moon in Aries. This Aries full moon became exact on Thursday, October 1st at 5:05 p.m. New York time, which is 21:05 Greenwich Mean Time. This is the first of two full moons in the month of October. In contrast to airy harmony-seeking Libra, the sign in which the sun remains, the moon is illuminated in fiery Aries, which isn't afraid to ruffle feathers. Aries is represented by the ram, an animal who will fight other males to the death just for the right to mate with a female. The Martian energies are in the air during the days around this full moon and over the next 28 days, as Mars itself is still traveling retrograde in its home sign of Aries during this time. With a contentious election looming here in the United States, we can see the Martian energies in full swing. People seem to be digging their heels on both sides, and we've seen a resurgence of protests around the country as well recently. Mars is squaring a stationing Saturn in Capricorn, getting ready to move direct. This aspect is bringing up father wounds and buried past life wounding on the masculine side. The Martian energies that are being negotiated now are playing out on the polarity of the divine masculine versus the shadow masculine. It's a perfect time to discuss the aspects of the divine masculine that help us to bring out the inner spiritual warrior. The divine masculine traits. Strength. Clients often say to me that ascension shouldn't have to be so difficult. Well, if ascension was meant to be easy, why would we bother traveling halfway across the galaxy to take part in it? Some of us on this ascension journey have gone through multiple tribulations in this lifetime alone, where we had to gather all of our inner strength simply to survive. Even if you hadn't had extreme difficulties like that, everyone can think of an instance where they had to be strong just to make it through. When creating a life plan, the soul always includes situations in which the character incarnated will need to access his or her inner strength in order to proceed through the intended lesson. Some souls have created more situations requiring this than others. If you feel like your soul has created a lot of difficult situations for you to go through, know that it is because your soul believed you would survive each and every one of these and learn a valuable lesson in doing so. You are meant to make it through all of your tough times. If you're still listening to this YouTube transmission right now, then it's not your exit point. You're not done. You're meant to stay here and persevere through whatever difficulties you're going through. Your soul is not trying to destroy you. It's just challenging you in an extreme way. Science knows for a fact that your thoughts and emotions affect your immune system. We all have heard amazing stories of people who have had the tenor and resolve to overcome extreme health difficulties like stage 4 cancer. We also have all heard stories of people who decided it was their time to go and soon left their bodies. One's resolve and desire to live has a huge role in one's ability to heal from disease, and this all, of course, goes into the realm of strength. Often the most important factor is whether the person feels like they have a purpose. Science has shown that there's an enzyme called telomerase which increases the length of the telomeres. Now the telomeres, to put it simply, are at the ends of the DNA, and these are the things that determine our maximum lifespan. According to consciousness researcher Dr. Bruce Lipton, the number one factor that increases production of telomerase and thus expands our potential lifespan is a feeling of a sense of purpose. This is why, according to Dr. Lipton, many people have a short lifespan after they retire from their career or job. Another aspect of strength is literal physical strength. Regardless of your sex or gender, working on your physical vessel, whether it is through exercise or using weights, is healthy for the body, mind, and spirit. Even if you're not a gym rat, and I'm certainly not, there's always something you can do on a daily basis to move your body, whether it's dancing, walking, jumping on a trampoline, yard work, lifting weights, calisthenics, sports, or many more activities. Here are some questions to consider, and you can journal on these if you'd like, as usual, when pondering the role of strength in your life. In what situations do I feel the strength of the spiritual warrior within me? How could I bring that feeling into other aspects of my life to increase my productivity, success, and self-esteem? Am I able to cite situations in my life where I use strength to persevere through difficult situations? Was I able to take wisdom from those experiences and use that wisdom to help or motivate others? Do I feel strong in my physical body? If not, could I work on increasing my strength just a bit? Is there a situation in my life now where garnering more inner strength could possibly improve the situation? What would 10% more strength in my life look like? What would it feel like? Courage. This divine masculine trait is similar to strength, but with its own unique flair. Courage requires strength, though not necessarily physical strength. Courage most often shows up in our life when we are being asked to take a risk. We can all think of situations in our life where we took a risk and it paid off. Perhaps you followed a hunch and found yourself rewarded, or perhaps you said screw it and did something fun that was a bit risky, and we're glad you did. Perhaps you decided to take a job in another state and you ended up meeting your future partner. You needed to access your courage in these instances. Oftentimes, a soul will write into the life plan one or several big situations where courage is one of the intended lessons to be learned. You might be presented with a big opportunity, however, perhaps it might require moving out of your comfort zone. If you take the risk, it might mean you pass that particular lesson, not that it will likely be your last lesson in courage, while if you decide to play it safe, it likely means you'll get another opportunity down the line to show off your inner courage. Do you ever get that feeling that you should just take a leap of faith and go for it? These are the exact instances where you'll find that inner courage will pay off handsomely. Here are some questions to consider when pondering the role of courage in your life. What situations can I recall where I acted on the courage of the spiritual warrior within me? Does this mean that I can access this courage anytime I need to? Is there a situation in my life right now where I feel the universe is asking for me to take a risk? How could taking more risks in my daily life lead to a greater sense of fulfillment within me? Am I showing the courage to speak my truth? What would 10% more courage in my life look like? What would it feel like? Perseverance. If you listen to any successful athlete, entertainer, or business leader speak about their career, they will inevitably talk about perseverance. The ability to persevere through obstacles is what usually separates those who become successful in a certain field or talent from those who don't. No one has an easy ride to the top. Nearly every elite-level athlete, actor, or musical artist has been told at one time or another that they wouldn't make it to the top. Nearly all of them were rejected at one time or another by someone who didn't think they'd cut it. One of the biggest misconceptions out there in the spiritual community among many is that if something is difficult, it's not meant for you. Yes, it's a beautiful thing to step into the flow in your life where things start to come with grace and ease. However, there is usually a period of hard work and perseverance required before you can step into that flow. And once you do step into the flow, it doesn't mean you still won't have obstacles. Chronic neurological issues haven't stopped me from becoming the healer that I was always meant to be. I wish for all of you to access the perseverance of your own inner spiritual warrior. I hope that you decide that the things you want most in your life are too important to not persevere through the frustration of temporarily not getting what you want. You're worth it, and you deserve to manifest your dream life. Here are some questions to consider when pondering the role of perseverance in your life. Do I tend to give up too easily? Am I easily dissuaded? Do I truly feel like I'm worthy of my dream life? If not, what beliefs am I holding on to inside me that are preventing me from feeling worthy? Are there some situations in my life currently where I intuitively feel like I should persevere through the obstacles and frustrations? What would 10% more perseverance in my life look like? What would it feel like? Discipline. The famous quote, "You are what you repeatedly do," which, as I always mention, has been misattributed to Aristotle, is a certainly true statement. Your daily habits become your reality. Many people want to live a better life, whatever that means to them. Maybe they want more money, a bigger house, or a better relationship. Maybe they want to be fitter or have a career they enjoy. It's easy to want stuff, but are you willing to put in the work to get what you want? If you want to get good at anything in life, it requires discipline. If you want to be a good psychic or a good life coach or healer, for example, it does take discipline to practice your art. If you want to become a better artist, you got to practice. You want to become a better athlete, you got to practice. If you want to become more relaxed and at peace, you need to incorporate daily meditation and or visualization practices or tai chi or yoga or exercise into your schedule. When you dabble in something, you can only go so far. But when you spend time developing a skill or working on something every single day, you're going to become a master at it. Prioritizing your schedule goes hand in hand with establishing discipline. Many people have their hands in too many jars at once because of that, they don't progress as quickly in their career. You've got to be able to prioritize what is the most important thing in your life at any given time. Here are some questions to consider when pondering the role of discipline in your life. If I were to be more disciplined with my spiritual practices, what positive changes might I see in my life? What are the types of activities or time wasters I would need to cut out of my life in order to have more time to have those disciplined spiritual practices? Would I be willing and ready to cut out these time wasters or not yet? What could having more discipline do for my career? What could having more discipline do for my physical health? What would showing 10% more discipline in my life look like? What would it feel like? Chiron conjunct the moon, causing childhood wounds to come out. Chiron, the asteroid belt that is known in astrology as the wounded healer, is conjunct the moon in Aries, bringing up old wounding, especially from childhood. Childhood wounds are the current lifetime manifestation of the most significant past life wounds that we incarnate with. These woundings tend to come out most virulently when you experience delay, frustration, disappointment, abandonment, uncertainty, or anxiety. Interpersonal relationships, especially familial and romantic, are a common forum for these wounds to be on full display. As we ascend and move forward in our soul's evolution, in order to allow more of our soul's true essence to shine through this beautiful physical form, it is necessary to unravel these wounds and replace them with spiritual maturity. As we advance in spiritual maturity, we should find ourselves getting triggered less, being more forgiving of self and others, setting more authentic boundaries, thinking, speaking more positively, becoming more humble and open to spirit, and becoming more patient and less compulsive. Here are some questions to ask yourself or journal on to help unravel and heal these childhood wounds. What situations cause the worst in me to come out? Do these situations remind me of something that happened in my childhood? What do other people do that make me feel abandoned, left out, unseen, or unheard? Does this remind me of some things that happened in my childhood? In what ways do I feel spiritually undeveloped? How might these aspects of me relate to childhood woundings? What does the inner child in me need to heal? Fiery communication in the air. Be super mindful of your communication over the next 28 days, but especially on the full moon and the days following. The air is filled with the Aries fire, and with Mercury in its Scorpio shadow phase getting ready to go retrograde, people aren't likely to mince their words and may be irrationally triggered. The best thing you can do is A, not to take anything personally, and B, think about your words carefully before responding back. Always take the high road in communication. Insults or hurtful words are never necessary. Remember, what we say to others we also say to ourselves, as ourselves are hearing the words we speak. Interpersonal issues can always be discussed productively if both people choose to put aside their emotions and focus on the issues at hand. It's not always an easy thing to do, granted. Humans are emotional beings, and it is our experience of those emotions that are at the crux of our spiritual journey. However, as we mature spiritually, we can begin to become more aware of our triggers and choose to have a better handle on our emotions. Sometimes the best thing two people can do is to take a break from communicating until both feel that they are ready and able to discuss things in a productive manner. Mars trines Venus, creating passion in relationships. There's likely to be a lot of couples feeling the desire to get it on around this full moon, as Mars in Aries trining Venus and Leo is creating intense romantic and sexual passion. It is also the perfect time to see a creative project that you've been working on lately come fully to fruition. As always, the full moon is a time for releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves you, and to make room for all the new things that come on the next new moon. Wishing you a happy, healthy, creative, passionate, and peaceful full moon in Aries. With love, this is Matthew John. If you're not familiar with who I am a spiritual teacher, intuitive healer, starseed guide, and medical intuitive, and I've been on a 12-year awakening journey now. I would love for you to check out my website. I have all sorts of resources on there, a whole library of free videos, a whole library of free interviews and shows I've done, and a whole library of articles as well. And I also do offer private sessions and mentoring programs worldwide for people via phone, Skype, and WhatsApp. And I'm offering what is called my spiritual mentoring program, and I'm taking on new clients for the month of October. And I don't always have availability right away, but I do have some availability to get started within the next week or two. And I just want to briefly go over what you get in the spiritual mentoring package. There's 4 tiers of packages. The tier A, package A, is called Transformation and Healing. You get 4 90-minute plus private sessions in total with me. And in the first session, we do the soul plan reading. And in the soul plan reading, what I'm doing is connecting in with your spirit guides and your life plan to take a look at your soul lessons. What is it you're meant to learn in this lifetime? What is it you're meant to accomplish? Who are you meant to become? What your future looks like. We're going to dig into your relationships and what is the karma that is being negotiated in your relationships and how to best move through those relationships. We're going to talk about your specific past lives and what it all means, and much more. We'll be able to answer any questions you have about anything in your life. In the second session, we do the angel energy healing and aura cleansing session with a soul retrieval, an inner child healing, and an unhealthy attachments purging ceremony. It's a lot. We do it all in an hour and 40 minutes, and it's a deep, deep cleansing and reboot for your system, working on all your chakras, cleaning up your aura. The soul retrieval is fantastic. So that's the second session. The third session, we do a medical intuitive reading, and this is for your physical health. So if you've got anything going on in your physical body, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at your organs and your systems and tune into spirit and see what it is that's going on in your body, what are the metaphysical causes of anything that might be going on with you, and how to best move forward. We're going to give you a protocol of supplements and give you a protocol of diet and also meditations, sound healings, exercises, and more. And you'll get all of this in an 8 to 12 page report that you get within 2 weeks of your reading. So you get it all on paper, and you can use this to navigate your physical healing journey. And you also get a chakra scan and a report with that as well. And in the fourth session, we do your Starseed discovery session. And this is a journey to your home planet. So if you think you're a starseed, if you're not sure if you're a starseed, you're going to find out for sure. You're going to find out for sure in this session. And it is a fantastic, life-changing journey to be able to travel to your home planet and experience what it is like where you come from. And so many people have that desire to go home. Well, you get to go home and experience where you're from, even if it is just for a brief time in this session. It's life-changing. It's fantastic. And you get awakening coaching and spiritual business development coaching as time allows, and intuition and psychic development coaching as time allows as well. And I give you some spiritual homework between calls. You get unlimited email support between the calls as well. And you also get some bonus courses, Putting the Past in the Past, Mastering Your Intuition, and Spiritual Hygiene, Cord Cutting, Grounding 101. And my bonus ebook, Developing the Skills of Discernment and Intuition. That's all in Package A. Package B, you get all of that plus a 2-hour past life regression session. So for that, what we're doing is you're traveling back into your past lives, and we ask your higher self to take you to the most significant and relevant past lives that will help you to unravel and understand who you are in this lifetime and the tribulations you're going through. And you also get to go to the space between lives, and we meet a guide that will help you interpret what you're experiencing in those past lives. Great experience as well. And so that's Package B. Package C has all of that, plus also a future life progression session, which is a journey into your future in this lifetime. And you get to go to specific points in your future to see what is the highest possible scenario that could play out and what does it feel like, and it's really detailed. So it's really great for helping you to plan out where you're going in life. And in package C, you also get a whole bunch of other bonus courses. You get a deeper level of forgiveness, awakening the divine masculine, navigating the dark night of the soul, dissolving the ego, how to move on completely from your ex, the human energy field 101, and powerful visualization techniques for ascension. And you also get a bonus transmission called I Love You Regardless. That's all package C. Package D has all that plus some bonus optimization coaching sessions. So those are for people who want to have a more long-term approach, more of a long-term commitment with me as a mentor. And that's all in package D. So if you're interested in any of these, you want to know more, you want to watch a testimonial, read the testimonials, go to my website, yourdivinehuman.org, and scroll over private sessions. Click on spiritual mentoring packages. It's the first tab. And read over everything there. If you have any questions about the packages, on my website in the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a little pop-up and it says Matthew John, have questions, ask Matthew, and it's got my picture on there. Just click that, type in your question, and type in your email as well, and I'll get back to you really soon with an answer. I also do offer all of the sessions that I talked about in the package. I do also offer all of them individually, a la carte. So if a package won't work for you, go ahead and you can book a private session, whether it's a Starseed or the Medical Intuitive or the Soul Plan Reading or the Angel Energy Healing Soul Retrieval. You can book those all a la carte on my website as well. Any questions about anything, any questions about the full moon, personal questions, you can click on that chat tab in the bottom right corner of the screen when you go to my website and type in your question and your email, and I'll get back to you. All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening to this transmission. I'm looking forward to talking to you all on the next new moon coming up. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be kind to animals, be kind to the earth. With my love, this has been Matthew John.